All right, hello, and welcome back to Real Seekers. I'm your host, Dale, the Real Seeker. This is just going to be a short little video, kind of an update and some announcements. First things first. I did have more people contribute to help me out a little bit. So I just want to say thank you very much to them. So first of all, Annette Cloutier made a donation on my PayPal. So I just want to say thank you so much for doing that and helping me out on that front. I really appreciate it. And we had another person join actually my top Patreon tier, Real Seekers Beyond, where I'm teaching right now my logic course. This person just wished to remain anonymous, so I'm not going to say their name, but I just want to say thank you to that person for joining. And in the meantime, just a couple of announcements. So the first thing in terms of my Patreon, I've kind of made a decision just to help out, kind of market and give you guys an idea of what's being offered on these things before you would join and stuff like that. I'm thinking of actually putting the course that I'm teaching, just this course in Logic 101, Basic Logic. After I complete the course and complete it up on Patreon and give special access and early access to the people on Patreon. Obviously, if you're a member of one of the Patreons, I'm available to speak with you or help you and interact and stuff like that. But I think it actually would be beneficial to post it up for free on YouTube as well after the fact. Just to, number one, because I think actually in Christian apologetics, having basic knowledge in critical thinking and logic is essential, and it would really, really help the conversation and stuff like that. So it actually is relevant to Christian apologetics and improving the conversation. And secondly, it'll give you guys kind of a taste test, right? Like, okay, how is Dale at teaching these secular philosophy courses? Do I like this kind of thing? And so it's kind of free marketing or advertising to give you kind of a taste as to what I'm offering on the Real Seekers Beyond Patreon tier. And if anyone joins there, then yeah, great. You'll get more of that and get special access to that when I teach other courses that I've taken in secular philosophy at university beyond just the basics in logic and critical thinking. Okay, so that's that announcement done. The other announcement is very exciting. So obviously, I've got a bunch of podcasts lined up for you guys. Dr. Shabir Ali is coming on Wednesday, July 3rd at 7 p.m. to do our debate on the historicity of Jesus' death by crucifixion. On Friday at 10 a.m., I've got Otangelo Grasso coming on to talk about his new book, Proving God from Cosmology, on things like the cosmological argument and the fine-tuning or teleological argument, intelligent design, stuff like that. And then on Saturday, July 6th, I'm having Tyler Vela, the once Christian who's now apostatized and become a general theist of sorts. And we're going to be discussing the evidence for and against Christianity and seeing if I can help him put that all together using my Bayesish or Bayes theorem approach. And let's see if we can try to bring him back and help him better assess the evidence in a way that's geared towards believing in truth. Now, another thing that's really exciting, as people will know, is for a long time I've tried to. I had a chance at my church to be a Bible teacher, and I was starting with the historical case for the resurrection of Jesus. And unfortunately, they weren't interested in Christian apologetics at that time. They shut me down after the first lesson, and that was very disappointing to me because it's important to me. I mean, obviously, it's so amazing. I have my main podcast ministry, and I can teach on here and share my knowledge on here and stuff like that. But it's also special to teach, to actually be an official teacher in a church setting and stuff like that. So I've gotten another chance. Thankfully, Oakwood Wesleyan Church, my friend Reverend Suley, who was the host of the Third Degree Truth Hurts podcast, he's taken me on for a 4-week seminar on the Shroud of Turin. So his church has never heard of the shroud evidence before or anything like that. But every Thursday night for the month of July for 4 weeks is what I've been given as kind of a test here if we're going to go on. Every Thursday night at 7 p.m., I'm going to be teaching a course on the shroud. And it's going to be 4 weeks. So I've broken it up into, okay, the first 2 weeks will be on the science, right? So week one, we'll be looking at what are the minimal relevant features, who is STIRP, what did they find, what are the properties of the shroud images, why are the images special? And then the second week, we'll be looking at explanations for those properties on the shroud, for the shroud images, and why everything other than a supernatural radiation hypothesis utterly fails. And then the third week, we're going to switch gears and look at the historical evidence on the pro shroud side. What is the evidence proving that this thing goes back to the historical Jesus? And then finally, the fourth and final week, we'll be looking at some of the mainstream shroud skeptical objections and our responses to that. So that'll be on a Zoom call. I'm assuming, I'm not sure if I'll be able to record it or anything like that. But I think from what Reverend Sully has told me that he is open to having others join. So if you want, let me just share my screen and stop doing that. Let me just share my screen to show you where you can go, and it's going to work. Awesome. Okay, so if you just type in Google Oakwood Wesleyan Church, it's the first link that you get up. Now, their website is currently under construction. So you'll see, unfortunately, the site's under maintenance, but there is this button right in the middle for Bible studies. It says join now. When you click on that, okay, it opens, it pops up this Zoom thing. You can just open the Zoom meetings, and hopefully you'll be in, or else Reverend Sully will be the gatekeeper and will allow you in to see to witness the Bible study. Again, that's starting this Thursday, July 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or I'm in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So Toronto time, which is Eastern time. Okay, so yep, you can see how it works. And then, yep, waiting for the host to start the meeting. Great. So that's how that works if you would like to participate in my Bible study. Now, just remember, obviously, for you guys on Real Seekers, you guys are well familiar with my Shroud Wars and stuff, so you're going to be more knowledgeable than the church, the people at Oakwood Wesleyan Church who've never heard of the Shroud evidence. It's all new for them. So I was given strict instructions as a teacher to make it very basic, very explanative, and allowing a lot of time for questions. It's only going to be 1 hour long, and I've actually allowed, especially in the first lecture, I've allowed a lot of time for questions. So it's not even an hour's worth of content. It's probably between half an hour to 40 minutes, and I've allowed a lot of time for questions. But that'll be interesting for you guys too, to see, okay, what do people who've never heard of the evidence for the shroud, what do they think of it when they're first hearing it? So I just wanted to let you guys know about that on Real Seekers. You guys, from what I'm told, you guys are welcome to attend those. And just, you can find the Zoom link on that Oakwood Wesleyan Church website and click on it, and hopefully he should bring you in. So yeah, that's it for the quick announcements. With that said, I'm going to post up the first 2 lectures from my Real Seekers Beyond tier, which was, again, it's giving you a free taste of my Patreon exclusive or Patreon special access lessons in logic, my critical thinking course that I've been teaching for Tyler Fowler. And I'm going to release that entire course in due time. Obviously, those on Patreon are going to get first special early access to it and stuff like that. But for right now, for this week, I'm going to post up the first 2 lectures and release them on an ongoing basis and stuff like that for free on YouTube. Just number one, to give you guys a free taste to see if you guys would be interested in joining the Patreon. But even more importantly, I think that this material is actually helpful in the Christian apologetics and evangelistic sphere. I mean, I see so many internet atheists and skeptics that are just so irrational and illogical. engaging in the fallacy, they appealing to logic fallacies that don't have a clue what they're talking about, or they claim to be making this deductive argument pattern, but they're not, and stuff like that. And there's just a lot of irrationality that goes into online debates these days. So I actually think, yeah, it's for my mainstream audience on Real Seekers proper. This course in logic will be helpful for you guys, and I should make that free of charge and stuff. So that's it for the announcements. With that said, I will be releasing the first two lectures for this week on my critical thinking and logic course, and then I'll release parts 3 and 4 or whatever next week, starting with parts 3 or whatever, on a weekly basis or something like that, because I'm almost done on Patreon with that logic course. I've just got a couple more lectures to go. So yeah, that said, look for lectures 1 and 2 to be uh, posted up on YouTube within the next hour or something like that, or by tomorrow at the latest. All right, take care, everyone. Bye bye.